Hi, I'm Michael T. Before you get into haircutting, it's important that you understand a few basic principles of simply how to hold your scissor and how to open and close your scissor. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a few basic principles and exercises on how to properly hold and open and close the scissors, because what I see too often is students moving along, haircutting, not properly understanding how to utilize this tool and getting into bad habits, then going back, having to break the bad habits. It's very difficult, makes haircutting a little bit more challenging. So to make the process of learning haircutting a lot more fun and smoother, we're going to first start with simply how to hold, how to open and close. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is simply how to hold the scissor. Now take notice here, the finger rest here is on top and the tightening screw here is facing you. That's how you want the scissor to be when you actually go to place it in your hand. You don't want it like this, where the finger rest is on the bottom and then the tightening screw here is away from you. You want it like that, okay? So when you go to hold the scissor, you actually, on the top ring, use your ring finger, not your middle finger. A lot of people want to use their middle finger. You actually use your ring finger, okay? Another important thing here is that you don't want the top ring to be down, all the way down your ring finger like that. You just want it resting on top of your second knuckle, like that. So now, okay, I can rest my pinky on the finger rest like that. The next thing is, if you just simply hold it like that, you want to now, keeping this, the ring above your second knuckle, you want to now angle the scissor back or down towards your left shoulder like that. Okay? And then move your hand so that the blade is parallel to your body. So my hand is almost sort of like that. Another position would be, again, the top ring resting on my second knuckle, my pinky resting on the finger rest. Angle the scissor down to the bottom of your pointer finger like that, okay? You don't want it up here like that because you're a little weak up there. Down here at the bottom of when you're angled down like that, you're much stronger. We call that crane position. Now, the thing with your thumb, my thumb is barely in the bottom ring, you see? What I see sometimes in the beginning is this. You don't want your thumb all the way in like that. You just want it barely in the bottom ring like that, okay? So to go over that again, ring finger, second knuckle, okay, my pinky's resting on the finger rest here. Angle back down towards my left shoulder, okay, my thumb is barely in the hole like that, okay? So from another angle, and that's how you really hold the scissor like that, okay? Now let's get into some exercises. Okay, now that you understand how to hold the scissor, let's get into a few exercises on strengthening your hand and wrist and how to open and close the scissor. So what you want to do is place your hand underneath the blade. I mean, basically when you talk about the blades, you have the still blade at the bottom and the moving blade on top. And the goal here is to just use your thumb and not quack or crocodile, as we call that. Because if you're moving both blades, you're going to push the hair and you're not going to get a clean cut. So the goal is to just use your thumb. So what we do is we place our hand underneath the still blade, okay? And then we just practice opening, closing, opening, closing. Now you need to practice this while you're watching TV or while you're on the phone. When you have some downtime, just practice this, and then eventually you could take away your hand and just use your thumb. Okay. Again, it's important that your thumb is not all the way through that way, that your thumb is just barely in that ring. Okay. So again, open, close, and when you do that, I want you to really open and close. Don't just take these little nibbles. Open, close, open, close. It's strengthening your hand to get used to how to hold, because for some people it's a little bit uncomfortable to hold the scissor that way, so it just requires some practice. Okay? So now we're going to open, close, and you need to do this for, a while before you get into hair cutting. Okay, so the next exercise is simply just, when you're cutting hair, it's just a constant movement of palming your shear, combing, holding, and cutting. So the next exercise is really about palming your shear. So palm, retrieve in crane position, open and close. Okay, so you could even practice both exercises at once. So you could palm your shear, retrieve, place your hand under, and open and close like 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So palm, retrieve, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So practice that. It's very, very important that you really sit and do this for really a few hours leading into hair cutting. It's going to make the learning process of hair cutting much more fun and much smoother. And I hope this helped. So get to it.